Breath of Life is written and directed by Bibi Sasoro, and it runs over 1 hour 54 minutes, and it was shot in Ibadan. It's a film that tells the story of Timmy Johnson, a man whose tragic past affected his religious beliefs as well as his social life, right? His tragic past, which he says God did, that is taking away his family, became a barrier between he and God. However, a young man called Elijah became an instrument that revived Mr. Timmy's relationship with God and connected Timmy back to life again. Young Elijah, just fresh from school, became a one stone, two bed instrument. Oh, one stone, two bed instrument. I hope you understand what I mean. One stone, two bed instrument that from an angle connected me back to life and God, and at the same time, from another angle, fights the battle against the demolition of the long abandoned house of God. With regards to performance in this movie, there were great performances of actors in this movie. Chimeze Imo in the character of Elijah was actually a good one. His performance were plausible, and the asthmatic character depiction there was actually convincing. For me, actually, it was convincing. In this movie, Elijah had only one wish, which was to become a reverend and pastor in a church. His ambitions brought rivalry between he and Anna's father when he decided he wanted to revive the church. Not that Chimeze is a great actor, and pulling off this asthmatic performance was actually my take on his character's good performance. And so Chimeze really did great in this. Moving on to Wale Ojo in the character of older Timmy Johnson was actually a good one. Wale Ojo did great actually. I mean, it was a full match, that full resembling match with the younger Timmy Johnson. The cast really did well in this particular movie by getting convincing appearance for the young and the old Timmy Johnson, right? Wale Ojo's performance was good, only for some continuity issues at some point that looked like a performance issue, but it wasn't from Wale Ojo's perspective. It was actually from an editorial point of view, which I'm going to talk about later, right? Now, the trauma Timmy Johnson embodied for 35 years as a result of what happened to his family was really shown to us by Wale Ojo without saying a word. The rage, yelling, silence, finally the bright face and laughter of living life again. That is when Elijah took him for a ride on his bicycle, was all well communicated and was very convincing by Wale Ojo in the character of Timmy Johnson. Now, not forgetting the great performance of young Timmy Johnson, acted by Demola Adedoyin. It couldn't have been better actually. Whoever have such experience of seeing what happened to his family, I mean, like what Baby Fire did to his family there, I mean, they could lay down there for more than that 9 days the movie depicted. So it was actually a bad experience, and Demola Adedoyin really passed across his own performance exceptionally, that made me also glued to the screen. And now to my favorite cracker girl who made me go emotional in this particular movie, Genevieve Ome. Her role as Anna was just great. Her dialogues were flawless and performance was good actually. My most interesting scene about Anna is when they were at the dinner table with Timmy Johnson while Elijah was still on oxygen machine. Her tearful laughter there got me glued to the screen, and it was actually great. Her performance was great actually. Even though there was this point where I think the director Bibi Sasore didn't take notice that Anna stepped away too early from Mr. Coker and Elijah when the camera was moving in to close up on the two characters. You could see Anna clearly stepping out of the frame, which doesn't look nice and it doesn't look convincing at all. Don't get me mixed up, right? Genevieve Ome acting that particular role was actually great, but I just think that it was a directing challenge, or the director didn't just notice that scene actually it wasn't that plausible considering the moving out of the camera. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Bob Manuel as Mr. Coker, that's Timmy's lawyer, was also good and delivered plausible performance as well as flawless dialogues actually. Not forgetting the rugged Elijah's Bible study member Mama Ayo, played by Tinamba. It was a good performance right there. Her action in standing up for Elijah reminds me of her role in Battle on Booker Street, right? That was the attitude and action she had on for the most quarrel and fight scenes that happened in Battle on Booker Street. So the performance of Mama Ayo in this particular movie was great, and that was acted by Tinamba. Not forgetting Sam Dede in the character of Chief Okonkwo. I mean, it was actually great. Sam Dede brought out the character, and it was actually a good mean face he put on there when he went to demolish that building. So it was actually great. And also, Mrs. Okonkwo, acted by Ashonye Michelle. I hope I pronounced that name right. It was all good. All other characters actually had a great performance. So with regards to cinematography in this particular movie, camera angles were good, shots were good. I mean, it was actually great, right? However, there were some scenes that I think it should have been better, like the scene where Mr. Timmy keeps breaking plates. The shots there would have been better if we had some varieties of wide angle shots, tracking shots. I mean, wide angle shots to establish a full view of what we are seeing when he breaks one of the plates. I mean, and maybe a tracking shot of the plate with a slow motion take for about, let's say, taken with 120 frames per second, that will help break it down into slow motion. That would be interesting to see, and other angles that would have established or given us a better smashing of the place to the wall with sound effects that would steer tension from the part of we the viewers. But for me, it was just a stable beat from the background, and it didn't just give me that tension that I felt I needed to see. That's from my perspective, though. Let me know your perspective in the comment section below. Lighting was great, and I think that the wardrobe for the scene between the period of 1968 was actually good. It depicted the dressings for that period. In its entirety, wardrobe and makeup for this particular movie was great. The hairstyle, clothing, design, all represented the period by which they were trying to shoot it. So I think it was actually great. Now, my observation. One thing I mentioned earlier was the continuity part. So there are these points where I think that they were breaking the continuity. So first of all is when Elijah saw Anna's father. That's when Elijah went to Anna's house, right? The editing there didn't look right. This was because the view from behind Elijah, we could see that Elijah already has seen Mr. Konko when Mr. Konko was approaching. But coming to the front view, Elijah was stepping in slow motion into surprise and into Dutch angle shot, right? So in as much as the Dutch angle shot at that point was really the best shot angle, considering the tension that was surrounding the environment, however, I think that it lost its flavor when the continuity glitch falls in, right? I think that the editor should have left out the 3-second shot view from behind Elijah establishing the entrance of Anna's father and just add in the Dutch angle shot after showing us the full shot of the room. I don't know whether you get it, but if you don't get it, just forget about it. So for me, I didn't see the backdrop, or can I say the character development of why Mr. Timmy couldn't die, right? What makes him special and hindered him from all the attempts to take his life? From my view, the theme of the movie really portrayed the challenges of life, right? So it gives meaning to all aspects of what keeps humans surviving, that is love, pain, and hope. So let me break it down this way. We are ushered into the movie with a great love existing between Timmy and his family. Then later comes pain from the loss of his family. Then comes revenge and loss of hope. Then comes hope from Elijah, who became an anchor for both the church and Mr. Timmy, reconnecting to love and God, right? Not forgetting the chemistry between Anna and Elijah that was very strong. So in conclusion, this movie, Breath of Life, gives outstanding performance and told a great faith-based story that related with the unbeliefs people faces as a result of adversities, right? It revealed a relatable story of what even the great men of God faces in the ministry and narrated how human they are to fall short of the glory of God. But in all this, there is always a peace that can reconnect one to life and purpose if only one can create room for love. Guys, thank you very much for being with me to this end, and as always, my name is GK, here to give you always the best of Nollywood movie reviews. If you like what I'm doing, please do the needful below, and if you click the like button, it will help me to do more. Thank you very much, and see you in my next movie review. Salute.